Evening viewer, welcome to our Globe TV. Here's a breaking news. According to a study published in the journal Environmental International, if you are pregnant, you should think twice before running out to get a cheeseburger or grabbing for a packaged pastry. Oddly enough, it's not the food that the report targets, not the fries, burgers, or even the sex and cakes, but what touches the food before you eat it. Research shows that phthalates, a class of chemicals associated with plastics, can sit from the wrapping, packaging, and even from plastic gloves worn by food handlers into food. Once consumed during pregnancy, the chemicals can get into the bloodstream through the placenta and then into the fetal bloodstream. The chemical can cause oxidative stress and an inflammatory cascade within the fetus. Researchers noted, previous literature has indicated that exposure to phthalates during pregnancy can increase the risk of low birth weight, preterm birth, and child mental health disorders such as autism and ADHD. This is the first study in pregnant women to show that diets higher in ultra-processed foods are linked to greater phthalate exposure, the author wrote. When moms are exposed to this chemical, it can cross the placenta and go into fetal circulation, said senior author Dr. Sheila Satyanarayana, a UW medicine pediatrician and researcher at the Setley Children's Research Institute. The analysis involved data in the conditions affecting neurocognitive development and learning in early childhood research cohort, which comprised 1,031 pregnant individuals in Memphis 10 who were enrolled between 2006 and 2011. Phthalate levels were measured in urine samples collected from during the second trimester of pregnancy. The researcher found that ultra-processed food composed 10% to 60% of participants' diets, or 38.6% on average. Each 10% higher dietary proportion of ultra-processed food was associated with 30% higher concentration of diethyl phthalate, one of the most common and harmful phthalates. Phthalate amounts were derived through urine samples taken from the women in the study. Ultra-processed foods to the researchers are made mostly from substances extracted from foods such as oils, sugar, and starch, but have been so changed from processed and the addition of chemicals and preservatives to enhance their appearance or shelf life that they are hard to recognize from their original form. Researchers noted, this include packaged cake mixes, for example, or packaged French fries, hamburger buns, and also soft drinks. When it comes to, the fast food, gloves worn by the employees and the storage, preparation, serving equipment or tools may be the main sources of exposure. Both frozen and fresh ingredients would be subject to these sources, said lead author Brendan Baker, a postdoctoral researcher in Satyanarayana's lab. This is the first study, researchers say, to identify ultra-processed foods as a link between exposure to phthalate and the socio-economic issues facing the mothers. The mothers' vulnerability might stem from experiencing financial hardships and from living in food deserts where healthier, fresh foods are harder to obtain and transportation to distant markets is unrealistic. We don't blame the pregnant person here, said Baker. We need to call out manufacturers and legislators to offer replacement and ones that may not be even more harmful. More legislation is needed, the author said, to prevent phthalate contamination in foods by regulating the composition of food wrapping or even the gloves that food handlers may use. What should pregnant women do now? Satyanarayan said that pregnant women should try to avoid ultra-processed food as much as they can. We seek out fruits, vegetables, and lean meats. Reading levels can come into play, he or she added. Look for the lower number of ingredients and make sure you can understand the ingredients, she said. This applies even to healthy foods such as breakfast bars. See if it is sweetened with dates or has a litany of fats and sugars in it, she said. Behind the report, Glory Globe TV, Delhi, Bharat.